Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Reality Club. Today we are back with another episode of the Traitors Recap, episode 6. I was a little worried going into this week that we only had one episode last night, and I was like, it's not going to be very entertaining. We're not going to get a lot of content, but I was so wrong.
I feel like I had more to say in this one episode than I have in the last 5, so
I know,
yeah,
it was
Alan knew what he was
crazy.
doing. Alan knew what he was doing.
Another thing that happened last night that I quickly want to talk about is Harry Styles released a new single. Did you hear it?
No, I did not know anything about this.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm not like I'm not a huge, okay, I'm not going to say I'm not a huge Harry Styles fan, but I'm not in the loop with Harry Styles.
Oh, that makes me sad.
See, and this is funny because I wanted to say that big news happened this week that Summer House stars Amanda Batula and Kyle Cook broke up, which I've been predicting for years now.
I don't even know who that is.
And this is what I hate, is that I can't talk to you about it. Alicia won't watch Summer House. I'm a big Summer House fan.
It's not that I won't watch Summer House, it's that I have 12 other shows that are on my need to watch list.
I've put this on your list since last year, okay?
I have a big list, okay? I'm a very popular reality TV watcher. But yeah, no, Harry Styles released a new single called Aperture, and you definitely need to go listen to it. It literally makes me feel like I'm nostalgic for like an experience I haven't even had yet. It gives the vibes of like, you know, when you have a song that you hear it and it like brings you back to like a time 10 years ago that you just felt like peace and happiness, and
like summer of 2016.
Yeah, summer of 2016. But you know what I mean, like that nostalgic feeling of like, oh, I just wish I could feel that like peace again in my head. That's what the song makes me feel like.
Okay, well, when we get off, I'll listen to it and then I'll let you know what I think. Because no, I had no idea. I feel like there's so much else that's happened. Alex Earle getting her own reality show on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I only saw this small clip that you saw me. Is it like her own show, or
it's
what
with
is
her
it?
family. It's with her family.
So it's kind of like what Charlie D'Amelio and her family did like a few years ago. I never watched that, but
no, I'm thinking so, but I think this has the potential to do better.
Okay.
So we'll see. But no, I feel like since she was on Dancing with the Stars, and her family has a really interesting backstory, like especially with her dad and her stepmom. So I feel like this has been like in the works for a while, and it's been talked about for a while. So
okay,
I'm excited.
I also saw that you sent me a post of Tom Sandoval being in a show called House of Villains.
Yes. Tom Sandoval's there. Christine from Selling Sunset.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
If you remember her. And then there's someone that I like from Below Deck, Kate Chaston. And then there's a challenge girl. Her name's Ashley. And then there's a Love Island guy. So
is
like,
Kate the...
Sorry.
No. Is Kate the one that was on Traitors?
Yeah, she was the one that was on, I think, the first season and then came in the second. Yeah, she's cool. I love her from Below Deck.
Okay,
and Below Deck's also a show that you need to watch, so...
I know. I don't know where I'm supposed to get all this time to watch this much TV, but...
Oh my gosh, and then also, if anyone here watches Tell Me Lies, please drill Alicia to watch it.
Sorry, I've been on my reading grind, so...
Whatever.
Me and Lauren... I've been trying to get Lauren to read Fourth Wing, the series, because I just finished it. I just started it at the end of December, and I finished all 3 books in like 3 weeks because it is so consuming. And Lauren's a little bit behind.
I've been halfway through the first book for 2 weeks.
I finished reading Onyx Storm, like the 3rd book, on Saturday night. Cried my eyes out, obviously. And then I haven't been able to like even think about reading. All I am doing is like I'm on Instagram Reels looking at like these art generated characters of this book.
Yeah, no, I'm not there yet.
Well, because I didn't want to go and like look up any information about these books until I was done all three. And then once I finished, I was like, I need to go see what everybody is thinking and feeling about this book right now. And now I can't, I feel like it's going to take me a while to start a new book.
I think you've earned a break. You've earned a break. That's a lot of reading you did over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, those books are huge.
I know. That is why I'm struggling. It's interesting. It's just
truthfully,
really big.
It made me want to. I was like, as soon as I finished the book, I was like, did we start the wrong podcast? Like, should we have been a book podcast?
You could have handled that, but I wouldn't have been able to stay on track.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, but anyway, I think we should just get into episode 6 of Traitors.
Episode 6 of Traitors.
I don't even know where to start because that was such a filled episode. So much happened.
Yeah. That was the first time in a while I felt heart palpitations during an episode of something.
No, I agree. I feel like the first 5 episodes, I liked them, but I felt a little like
underwhelmed.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I don't know, this doesn't feel like last year. It doesn't feel how like obsessed I was last year watching it. But after last night's episode, wow.
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 Wow was right. Wow was right. I feel like, well, we'll start at the beginning. We started at breakfast and we still didn't know if people had shields or not.
Yes.
I was still convinced that people took shields. So I was a little surprised to see that nobody did, but ultimately it was probably for the best that happened.
I was surprised that they didn't take shields, but I was also a little bit surprised that Alan came into the turret and told them that they weren't allowed to murder. I think it would have been so much juicier if they had to either make a decision on their own, not knowing if anyone took a shield, and potentially failed a murder. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Alan would have walked in at breakfast and been like, they tried to murder last night, but no one took a shield. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because then they would have also been able to see, like, reactions at the table. Like, okay, who's surprised? Who's not? What's happening? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised. I think they could have done it. I feel like this whole season, like, I keep seeing people online talking about it, and people are, like, disappointed with how this season is going. They were upset about the secret traitor, which I was surprised by. I didn't know people didn't like that. I was very into that idea. So it just seems like every season is so different, and you really can't anticipate what's going to happen, which I'm realizing. I keep trying to compare it, but you can't compare it to past seasons.
No, definitely not. I mean, I feel like we already talked about that. Secret Traitor, loved the concept, executed poorly, I think, but liked the concept. Yeah, no one got murdered, but I think Steven could have just been murdered and that would have been fine for me because he was not in this episode at all.
He hasn't been really in it at all. He's in it the odd time. Like, I think someone complimented his sweater at breakfast.
I was like, thinking, oh yeah. Like, last night I could not go to bed. I was rolling around just like thinking about the round table over and over and over. And then I was sitting there and I was like, was Steven at the round table? He could just get murdered now because he's irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, but we also, I guess, don't know. He could fully be in it chatting with people, and they could just not be showing that. Because the last 5 episodes, Mark Ballas hasn't said a friggin' word. And I saw a TikTok of him, like, people being like, dude, where's your voice? Why aren't you talking? And then finally this episode, we saw him, like, talk quite a bit more than he ever had.
So, speaking of Mark starting to talk, I was disappointed that he didn't talk a lot in the first couple episodes, but this episode, he started to talk, he started to say his opinions, and honestly, they were so off base. Like, we're just jumping right into, we'll bounce around all over this episode, truthfully, but Mark starts talking for the first time in 5 episodes, and he starts talking about
Okay, wait, what
planning.
part is this?
So this is before the round table.
Okay.
Because this is really when he starts talking, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking Ron again. Ron's been the round table story for the whole season. And Mark is over in the corner trying to come up with a plan to get Colton out at the round table. Which
it wasn't just Mark though. It was also what's his name? What's the other ice dancer's name?
Tara? Johnny?
Johnny. Johnny's also fighting for Colton. But him and Mark, I feel like, have a little alliance.
Oh, I think there's a whole group of faithfuls that has a really strong alliance. And I was thinking about this because obviously there's been big players that have been eliminated in the first 5 episodes. And I was a little bit worried about that because I don't know, I just hate when there's a bunch of floaters in a season and there's not a bunch of voices. And I was also thinking last episode we were talking about how the Traitors are doing so well, and obviously there's a lot to get into with the Traitors in this episode, but I was like, there's no, like, they're probably going to be safe this whole season. Like, clearly nobody's onto them. But this episode, we kind of saw a little bit more of like the alliances that are going on in the house. And there's a big group of faithfuls who really believe that they're all faithfuls. So like Tara, Johnny, Mark, who else? Natalie,
what's the chef girl's name? Oh, Maura. Maura's in there.
Maura,
Kristen,
Steven.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
those people, that group of people all strongly trust each other, strongly believe that they're all faithfuls. And so when I heard them talking and planning and kind of being in that group, I was like, ooh, this might be bad for our traitors because there's a large majority of people who trust each other. And once we get down to like 10 people, and if 7 of them truthfully believe they're not traitors, they're going to start going for our traitors.
Yep, that's actually a really good point. But I do think that wasn't Candace in it too? I feel like her name has not been mentioned once.
They did mention Rob and Candace in that group of people who they truthfully believe are faithfuls, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
They didn't mention Lisa, which makes sense now.
Lisa is the most suspicious person. She does not know how to act. I am surprised that she is honestly still there. However, I think the way Colton's been playing, he's like the little boy who cried wolf now. Like, he's just been naming names. It hasn't been working out. So, of course, he's going to say Lisa now and people aren't going to take him seriously. Like.
So, okay. The thing with Colton is last episode, I was very adamant about not liking Colton. At least as like a player, not like taking whoever out of it, but I didn't like his gameplay. I thought he was coming on way too aggressive at the round tables, which obviously he has. This episode, he did say that he definitely took a step back from being like the ringleader of the round table this episode, which is kind of funny because it ended up people then coming for him instead because he wasn't controlling it. All the other faithfuls were like, well, I guess it's just Colton. But coming back to the point about like Mark and his group of people, this just shows me that the faithfuls are so terrible at being faithfuls, because if their only other suspect is Colton, it shows me they have absolutely no idea what's going on, because Colton, yes, has been loud, has been aggressive at the round tables, has had strong opinions, and you think that's who the traitor is?
No, it's true. It's true. I still don't understand people coming after Ron. I don't know, maybe I missed something, but the fact that Ron and Colton were the 2 targets at the round table confused the heck out of me.
That's what I'm saying, is like Ron, I think people are just at this point going for him because they like that they're like his least favorite friend. It feels like a social game. They're like, Ron, honestly, we can just get rid of him. That's how
Yeah.
it feels. It doesn't feel like there's any legit reason for why he's actually a traitor, besides maybe that he was like friends with Donna at the beginning. But also, that's such a funny theory because you think that Donna and Ron would have been like this around the house if they were both traitors. Like what?
No, it doesn't make sense. And you're right. I feel like they just honestly don't have anything to go by right now. So they have to they're just pulling stuff from wherever.
I know.
And I actually, this is the one season where I literally have no idea how this is going to go. Even each round table, I think I know what's going to happen. And then I had no idea.
Yeah.
So.
Can we talk about.
Oh, I wanted to talk about actually. Oh, okay, wait.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say on the way to the challenge in the car, I felt like that was the first time. I think it was Colton, Rob. I think there was a housewife with them, and there was two other people in the car.
Right.
And that was
I think
what
it was
Colton
Tara.
Yes, Tara and I forget who else.
Either way,
so
yes.
Anyway.
They were in the car talking about, or Colton was bringing up his theory about Lisa.
Yes, this was, I feel like, the first time he kind of mentioned it to, I guess, a group. And he literally said, he's like, if I go home tonight, the traitor's Lisa. But that was the first time Colton spoke up about Lisa. And Rob actually said that it could possibly be Lisa. And I think this was, like, I love Rob. But this episode, I felt like we saw a lot more of him. And I found it so funny that he's a traitor, but he's sticking up for all the faithful still. He's like, Ron's my boy, Colton's my boy. Like, he's like, you know what, yeah, Lisa could be a traitor. And I think that's the best thing he could have done for his game.
Okay, so if we're gonna start talking about Rob, I actually think it was a terrible move for Rob to start sticking up for the faithfuls, because I think there's a balance of how you play this game. And I think Ron, unfortunately for him, was like an emotional move, like it wasn't a gameplay, it was more out of emotion than it was strategy.
Like Rob sticking up for Ron.
Yes.
Okay.
So like even at the beginning when they're playing chess, it's kind of funny. They're like talking and Ron's like, yeah, so we all know what the outcome's going to be today. It's going to be me. And Rob's like, yeah, it's going to be you. But then like as they're going on to there's on their way to the missions and he's talking about, Ron's like, yeah, it's definitely going to be me. And Rob is like, well, maybe not. Maybe it's not going to be you. And I'm just so curious what his thought process was with saving Ron, because I understand he doesn't think he's a traitor because he obviously knows he's not a traitor because Rob is a traitor. But like you can only protect so many faithfuls, right? Like you definitely need to have some faithfuls that trust you and are behind you. And so maybe his thought process was, Ron trusts me, I need to keep Ron, which makes sense. But like he was also defending Colton. He's defending too many people, I think, and that's gonna bite him in the butt later.
But everyone was aware that he had a relationship with Ron, or like like somewhat of a friendship with Ron and with Colton. I feel like Rob is playing the best game because he's convincing himself that he's a faithful.
Fair. That's true.
And I think it's helping his game in that sense. Because if he was a faithful, he'd be sticking up for those two. If he was like, he's just thinking like a faithful, and I think overall, like, that is like a good strategy for him, and it's probably going to take him pretty far. Like, even Ron saying at the round table, he's like, Rob, I know you're a faithful. Like, and I mean, I don't think anyone has even mentioned any suspicion with Rob at all. Everyone just loves him. Everyone just has a little crush on him, and they're like, he couldn't be a traitor. Oh my god, he's too cute.
Going into this episode, I definitely thought that he was flying under the radar, and I still think he is a little bit. But I mean, I guess if we're talking about Rob, I think we need to talk about the round table and his decision for voting. So he defends Ron at the round table. He also brings it up earlier to Lisa and Candace, being like, I don't think I'm gonna vote for Ron, and that throws them off. Because I get it though, but like why not? It's an easy way to get another faithful out without turning any attention to the traitors. And so I don't know if that was a good move on his part for his relationship with the traitors, obviously. But even in the round table, he's having a really hard time deciding who he is going to write down. And in his speech, when he's about to show everyone that he voted for Lisa, his speech is like, maybe because we know he's a traitor, I think is just was kind of odd. Like I think he should have literally just been like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know who to vote for. I don't think Ron's a traitor. Like I Colton's my guy. Sorry, Lisa. Like
You
that's all he
think
had to say.
you think he explained it too much and it made him a little more suspicious?
100%. His speech was so over the top. He was like so stressed and was like, and my job as a faithful is to get out a traitor. And I'm like, that sounded to me like you're a little too confident on who you know is a
Yeah,
traitor.
that was a little I found that kind of weird, like he really didn't have to say that. But no, I think this could go one of two ways. I think that Candace and Lisa could obviously forgive him for this because it's not like he didn't vote for someone he wasn't in an alliance with. Like, it's not like he just turned on Lisa for someone who maybe wasn't like he was as connected with in the game. Like, he did it for two people that he did have that kind of relationship with, that it would have been obvious on their part, I think. Like, imagine he voted for Colton and Colton didn't go home. Like, wouldn't he think, like, dude, why?
Yeah, I don't think he could have voted for Colton. Like, absolutely not, because that's his. You need trusted faithfuls. Voting Colton out would have been a bad move. Voting Ron out, even though it would have emotionally been sucked for him to like vote out someone he trusts and like grew a little bit of a relationship with, would have been way smarter. Ron went home anyway.
It would have been more expected. Like, I don't
Well,
think
yeah,
Ron would have thought twice about it. So
a lot of people voted for Ron.
Yeah.
So it's not like it would have been no one would have suspected, oh, why did he vote for Ron? Like everyone voted, like he went home. Ron went home. So I think breaking his trust with Lisa was not worth like potentially saving Ron. Like even his
Okay, but one thing though, when people start to think about the round tables, when they go, because they always think, okay, who voted for who? If Rob had not, okay, you're right. If Ron was kind of an easy one, so I think that probably would have saved him. But if for some reason he didn't vote for Lisa and they backtracked, I feel like if now that they know if Lisa's a traitor or not, I think if she goes home, I don't think Rob will be on the radar anymore because he voted for her, if that makes sense.
I don't know, like you think that, but maybe they'll catch on to the fact that he was just trying to vote out another traitor. Because like at some point the traitors have to go against each other. I was not expecting it to already happen this episode. That threw me off because I thought we had like the strongest group of faithfuls we've had in a while. But I get it in a certain extent because you do have to save yourself. Like as much as you need to protect your traitors, like if they're falling off the boat, like you kind of just have to let them fall.
Yeah. Now, do you think that Lisa is going to come for Rob now? Or do you think that would be a risky move on her part?
I don't know. I think I could see it. I'm it's good TV that we didn't get to see them really have a conversation yet. Like they only got that little chance to talk in the kitchen, which was giving me anxiety about what happened. So Lisa, kind of jumping around a little bit more, obviously we see that there's going to be a murder in plain sight at the end of the episode, and Lisa has the control. And I think she might take out someone that's close to Rob, maybe get him back a little bit.
Yeah, but they said that it would be hard for her to take Colton out just because of their dynamic now, which does make sense. I think this is going to be one of the hardest for them to do. I'm surprised Lisa took the initiative to like be the one to wear the brooch because I don't know, I can't see her playing this well. So, I'm really intrigued by how this is going to go.
I think she took that brooch before she knew, like this, she took that the day before all of this happened. And also it's so funny just thinking about time frame of this show because it feels like they've been there for weeks, right? Because we've watched 6 episodes. We're like, they've been there for weeks. They've been there for 6 days.
Yep.
Like, I kind of forget this show happens in like a 2-week period. It's so quick. I think we forget that because we just assume they have all this time together to like get to know each other and like really figure it out. But I'm like, they're barely there, probably like 14 days. Because I
No.
think there's 12 episodes and an episode gets filmed one a day.
Yeah. No, it's pretty back to back. That's a good point.
Um,
I
yeah.
sorry.
And also, Alan said something that threw me off that we're halfway through. And that threw me off because I'm like, what? It just started a couple weeks ago, but I guess we've already seen 6 episodes.
Yeah, but now it goes until end of February, I think. Oh, that's only a couple, like 4 more weeks or so, though, 4 or 5. But that makes sense because I think there's 12 episodes. And now
Yeah.
we're just going to get one each week. And I didn't know, has there ever been a reunion before? I feel like I've
Yeah,
never watched.
there's always a reunion, yeah.
I feel like I don't remember watching the reunion last year. But the reunion comes out the same day as the last episode, which is really cool. I feel like you always have to
Love
wait
that.
for that.
Yeah.
Um, Oh,
But
it was
yeah, I
funny.
think
Side note, back to the challenge. Um, the cabin that made me think of Tom Sandoval.
that cabin is Tom Sandoval's cabin. There's not a person who didn't think about Tom Sandoval in that moment.
No,
No,
I know. I was waiting for the dolls and the same challenge, and I'm like, there's no way Alan's gonna do the same challenge. I thought this was a fun one. I think I would have been really good at this challenge. I like being scared in controlled environments, so I would have been fine.
I
And
would have been awful.
I liked seeing how they were all working together.
Yes, I did
Because
like this challenge.
I feel like with challenges, it's usually like teams. So it was nice actually seeing everyone be together and like actually work on something together because we don't see much of that. We see a lot of different groups in it, but not everyone actually. So I thought it was a good challenge and I enjoyed it.
I liked this challenge. I had so many questions about the logistics of this challenge. Because when they ran out of the cabin to grab the cash or the gold, someone's hand came out of the dirt. A human hand?
Yeah,
Where was this? How?
I wonder how they did it.
I want to know. I'm dying to know the logistics of this show. Like, even thinking about, because their outfits this episode were insane. We had Natalie wearing like a Catwoman bodysuit. Like, we had 4 people wearing like bomber jackets. Like,
Yeah, they
people,
all look like they're going to different events.
Johnny looks like he's auditioning to take over Alan's role when
Yeah.
Alan retires. Like,
yeah.
I want to know the logistics because they are glammed up. They come for breakfast looking top notch. They're about to walk a red carpet. And then they go do these like muddy, dirty challenges in the middle of the day. And then later that night, they look like nothing's touched them. Like Mara's hair had like her bangs perfectly straightened, perfectly done. Goes out to this challenge, comes back, no problem. Hair not touched.
True.
Like, I need to know what's happening. Like, I need to know.
Yeah, I don't know the timeline of all this, how it works.
Like, how long do they film? How are they filming from the morning? Is this like, are they only filming for like 5 hours a day? Like, I need to
It's
know.
probably like a 9 to 5 job. They get up, they get there at 9, they do their chats, they do their breakfast at 9, have their challenge or have their chats, and then I guess maybe get ready and then come back to the castle after for like more chatting.
I just
I don't
want
know.
to be
This
a
is why
producer on this show.
we need to audition for the Canada.
It's too
Traitors
late. It's
Canada.
closed. It's closed.
Oh, darn. I was going
I
to,
know.
but there was
I was-
so much to it. And then I started stressing out about the outfits. I'm like, I'm going to need a whole new wardrobe if I
I
go on
know.
this show.
I was like, I can't apply because I need a whole new wardrobe. I need
Okay.
a stylist.
No, exactly.
but-
I need to learn how to do makeup. Like, no, it's more than just going on the show. It's a lot to it. One thing after the challenge, I guess before the round table, that I found so crazy was when Colton and Lisa were talking. And
Oh,
Colton said, he always says these like freaking out of pocket like, I'll protect you at the table if you protect me at the turret. As if she's gonna slip up and be like, oh my God, yeah, good idea, Colton. He's like, I know you can't
I
tell me. Like,
I
come
want
on,
to
Colton. What did you think was gonna happen?
I want to formally apologize to Lisa Rinna because in that moment, I don't know why. This is disrespectful of me to even think out loud or say out loud, but I thought she was gonna cave. As soon as he was staring at her with those big blue eyes, being like, "I'll protect you in the at the round table if you protect me at the turret," and she's staring back at him, and I'm like, she's about to cave.
See,
But
I
our
think
girl Lisa did not
no,
cave.
she didn't, but I hate to say it because
Bad
I
acting.
know there's a lot of Colton haters, and I'm not the biggest fan of him myself. But I feel like doing that, he was able. I don't know. I feel like Lisa, like, I know she kept saying, I'm not just a housewife, I'm not just a housewife. But Lisa's been on enough shows and been out on TV enough or in the world enough for us to know her personality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying she's just a housewife. She's a confident, bold, loud woman. So to not see that, like, it's weird. It's weird. And I think her reaction to that is probably helping Colton with his decision on if she's a traitor or not.
Yeah, I will say she definitely. I don't think her acting. I mean, the thing is, I don't know Lisa well enough to like know how she is naturally, but in that moment, I was like, you could definitely tell she's a traitor. But good for her for not saying anything because I
Well,
would
she
have crumbled.
can't. I feel like
I
legally
know.
you can't, right?
I guess.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if there's. I don't know if there's any like type
no, like,
of
it's against the rules on the show to
to
tell
tell
another
anyone.
teammate what you are.
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah,
completely against the rules. So that's why he said, he's like, I know you can't tell me, but, and like, kind of like nudged her. Like, but like, that's the thing. It's like, she actually can't. So, like, that puts her in a situation where she was probably just so caught off guard. So, even if she wasn't a traitor, she probably, anyways, would have been like, what the fuck are you doing, Colton? Like, relax.
yeah. I think there's a few things I think about this. First, I swear that has happened before. Like, am I crazy to think that Pilot Pete also said something like that to someone?
No, Colton in 2 episodes ago was like, so what was Alan wearing when he came to the turret? Like, he keeps asking these questions, thinking someone's gonna be like, oh, he was actually wearing. Like, come on,
I
Colton.
know. He's just trying to catch, I think he's trying to catch like body language, right? Like, I don't think he actually thinks someone's gonna like say what they are, but you kind of catch body language in that moment. Because if you have nothing to hide, you're kind of like, I think naturally, like, huh? Like, what are you even talking about? But if you have
Well,
something to hide, you're probably like, oh no. You probably have to like think super hard about how you're gonna respond, which you
yeah.
do.
I
I
think the
think,
biggest issue, I think the biggest downfall with Lisa Rinna is going to be she doesn't have facts to back up things she's saying. Like when she says Colton's a traitor, she's not giving facts to back up why she thinks Colton's a traitor. She's just saying you're a traitor, you're a traitor.
so I think, actually, Ben mentioned this to me. Good point, honestly, is obviously we had this situation where Colton went to Lisa, nothing came out of it really. And then they go to the round table and Colton is coming at Lisa. Actually, you know what? It's interesting to me that he didn't bring her up right away. He was kind of going along with whatever was happening else at the. I don't think he was going to bring Lisa up
No, and I
until he
respected
was.
him for that. Like leaving
Yeah.
her out of it, keeping with Ron. Yeah.
Um, I think he only brought Lisa up because he was under fire and he had to say something. Um, but I'm surprised that Lisa didn't use that against Colton because she easily could have said, hey, okay, maybe you're not a traitor, but if you are faithful, you're a terrible faithful because you just tried to come to me and work with me thinking I was a traitor. And if that's the type of faithful you are, then why would we want you on our faithful team?
See, but Lisa doesn't know how to be a traitor. She doesn't know how to do this properly.
I
I,
love Lisa though. Oh
I,
my gosh.
Lisa
At the
is
beginning when
great
she's like
TV.
on at the turret, I think she was like, I wanna Colton's throat.
No, and honestly, this round table was, I think, the closest round table I've ever seen with votes. with not two people, three people were back to back with votes.
Yeah,
And I think that, oh my God, I just completely lost my train of thought where I was going with that.
that's okay. I think with the roundtable, I was surprised that this showed me that some of the faithfuls are just, again, bad faithfuls, because this whole group of people that were like, let's get someone out, let's get Colton out, let's get Colton out, they're running around being like, let's get Colton out, which again, why Colton? Why Colton? Like, getting Colton out as you actually think he's a traitor? Like he's, why would he be so loud and so obnoxious? That's crazy. Anyway, they're like, we're gonna get him out, we're gonna flip the table, we're gonna do it again. And then half of them didn't even vote for Colton. I was like, stick to your guns. If you're gonna,
Well, I think Colton bringing up Lisa threw a lot of people off. And then Ron,
yes,
when Ron was like saying goodbye to everybody before the table even ended, like forget even like watching Natalie like look over to I think Johnny and Mark like I don't she goes, I don't think he's a traitor anymore.
so speaking of Ron doing this, I think him saying goodbye to everybody was so smart. Whether he was intentionally doing that as like a gameplay or not, I don't think he was. It reminded me a lot of something that happened on Big Brother that was like a really iconic moment for anyone that watched Big Brother, where Dan Giesling, who was like a really good Big Brother player, he like hosted his own funeral on Big Brother when he was supposed to, like, essentially he was the person that everyone was going to vote out. Like, he knew that he was going home.
Oh, okay.
And so his speech was essentially like a funeral for himself, like just accepting that he's going home. And it flipped everyone's vote. No one voted him out. He stayed, even though the whole week people thought he was like the main person going. And so when Ron started going around being like, I just want to say thank you, and like, you're this and you're that, I'm like, he's kind of doing this like traitor's funeral for himself.
No, he
And
he was the reason I feel like the votes were so close because people started to think, "Oh my gosh, maybe he's not." And honestly, the people who still voted for Ron, dumb. But I will say I'm glad he went home because I want to see Colton and Lisa last longer.
oh, me too.
So this was
As
like
much as
perfect.
Colton has been annoying me a lot with his gameplay in the past few episodes, if he went home, it would be so boring right now. He is, as much as he's annoying, he's also entertaining.
He's the voice. Like he's the only one speaking up, it seems like. The other people are trying to, but it's not really working.
No.
Like he is the pilot Pete of this season and the Dylan
Oh, totally.
Efron, like and
Yeah.
so we need that a little longer. And Lisa, as much as like I wanted like I don't even want to see them get a traitor now.
No, I don't want Lisa to go home.
No.
I'm I want to see her get out of this. I'm curious to see what happens, because I think Colton bringing her up and like putting her, like, I don't know, putting the attention on her can either be a good or bad thing for her. I think it could go bad and people are just like, yeah, now we're on to Lisa. Or it's given her this opportunity to like be loud, be aggressive, like make bold moves, because they're blaming her for being too quiet. That's why she's a traitor. So maybe like, knowing Lisa, she's not going down without a fight. So she might come back next episode so aggressive with like her plan on who's the traitor, and maybe that will save her. But
Hope
the
so.
only problem now is like, unfortunately, when a traitor is pushed into a corner, sometimes their only saving grace is going after another traitor.
And that's what I worry about Rob because Rob went after her for the first time, so I could see her targeting him. But I also feel like if she starts bringing up Rob's name, people are going to be like, where's this coming from?
But also, with that being said, if she was just to be like, okay, I need to get another traitor out so I'm safe, if her first guess is right, she's
If
like,
her
you know what? Yeah, like if
well,
her
that's
first guess
yeah.
is Rob and he's a traitor, everyone's gonna be like, well, how did you know that?
Yeah, literally, there's been nobody else has mentioned his name once. So
Yeah.
if she did that, it would ruin both their games. So I'm hoping she is smart enough not to do that. But I also think that yeah, if she comes after Colton right now, it might be kind of obvious. I don't know.
Yeah, I the thing is also with Colton, as much as, again, uh, he's also an ally for Rob, and I really like Rob. So I Colton has to stay because Rob needs some allies, you know?
I know. It reminds me of like Dylan and Boston Rob when they were
I
like,
know.
except I feel like Rob is gonna last a lot longer than Colton will. I at least hope he does.
I
I
know. I'm
hope.
a little worried with his speech and
No, Alicia, I
everything.
think they're all blinded by his hotness. I'm serious. Like I really don't think that people are ever going to suspect it's him unless unless one of the traitors somehow drag him down. Like I don't think anyone would just randomly say his name. I think Lisa's or Candace are gonna have to drag him down for people to think that he is a traitor. That's just my
That's
theory.
true.
I don't know.
So let's say Lisa is the first traitor to go. Who do you think would be a recruit? Or do you think they would just keep it as Candace and Rob?
I think Candace and Rob would probably get a chance to recruit someone. But I don't know. We're halfway through and there's still three of them. I think if there
That's
was maybe
true.
only two right now, they would. I think it'll depend on next episode. If one of the traitors go home next episode, I think in the next they might try and recruit. And who knows? They could recruit and that person could say no. Like, what if Rob decides to recruit Colton?
There's no way.
Like, but you never know. I hear people saying that a lot of people want Natalie to be
A
recruited.
traitor?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do think she would have been a really good traitor as well.
I think so too. I
Um,
think Steven could be a good one because no one, like, he's just so under the radar that I don't think anyone would suspect it.
I think Steven is just gonna get murdered next.
Well, he would just be a random, like, whatever.
Well, the thing is, he's a good faithful, right? Like, right now, he's so irrelevant. Like, I completely forgot he was even on the show.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of
I
like Eric. Him and Eric kind of give me the same vibes, except Eric spoke up a lot more
Yeah, this year
last
this
episode.
this episode we got a lot more edits of like the people who haven't been speaking
I feel
because
like they're
like
doing a good
people,
job at that.
yeah, because like Jam, Natalie, Eric, all these people that were really vocal in the first 5 episodes, we didn't really hear much from them this episode. So I think it's honestly just more of an editing thing and not of like a what's actually happening. But I wish we saw more of what's actually happening because I think that's where it gets all confusing for us as a viewer because we see like 10 conversations total and then we have to like assume what people are thinking and feeling. Like
I know.
even
That's
Rob, like even Rob, as much as I'm like, I think he's a good trader, I don't know because we don't really see much of him talking with other people that show me that he is a good faithful. Like they only ask him a question or two and he'll be like, yeah, I think so. And that's all we hear of him talking to them. Like we don't hear anything.
imagine this was like Big Brother in the sense where there was like a live feed going on during, and we could just watch what's happening in the castle while they're all talking, and like that way we could actually see what everyone's doing, and we don't just have to have like the producers pick and choose who we're seeing and what.
I know. That's why I wish I want to know the logistics of the filming because I'm like, how long are they just chatting? Like, are they sitting there for like 4 hours? Like, or are they only get like an hour between the competition and the round table? Like, what are the logistics of them actually getting time together and time to like strategize?
Yeah, I don't know. We're
You
gonna have to
know?
look into that. Maybe we can ask Lisa.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get someone on the pod, bring someone in.
Wow. No, I think next week we saw obviously a little clip about next week's episode, and I think that's the one that I saw Alan in an interview talking about that there's gonna be like kind of something crazy that happens. And it looks like there was like a fight that was gonna break out.
I know the edit was insane. I went back and I rewatched it because I was like, what is happening? Like, does someone just have like food poisoning and they're running away from the table? Or like,
Well, that's the thing
what's
because
going on?
nobody left is a fighter. Like I can't picture two people out of all these people who would be like being aggressive with each other. Like unless Lisa throws something at Colton.
But I also saw, I saw that interview with Alan. I think it was Good Morning America. And he said that episode, I think he said one of the round tables or something happens in episode, he was like, I think 6 or 7. So probably 7. Where he's like, it's the peak climax of the show. So I'm like, what happens. Even I think I saw something with Mark talking about how there was like a certain scene that like he literally couldn't even comprehend what was happening.
Really? Okay, that's exciting. I like I I feel like this season, like I've said before, like we can't compare it to anything else. Like these characters are all playing such a different game than I feel like we've seen before. And it's really anything could happen. I
Well,
have
that's why I
no
don't want
idea.
Colton to go, because I feel like if they get rid of Colton, then all we're left with is a bunch of people who just truly believe they're faithfuls. And what's the fun of that? Like it's a bunch of people that just trust each other, because that's kind of what happened. I feel like last season, where like we were just left with so many faithfuls, and it was just like faithful to the end, and it was fine because I liked the faithfuls. I think last year more than I liked the traitors, but this year I'm so team traitor that I
See,
want to keep those
but
people in.
that group of faithfuls is just gonna like that the group's just gonna keep getting smaller and smaller, and they're gonna get to the point where they're gonna look around and be like, okay, well we can't all be faithfuls, so
True.
and then it's gonna have to be like, okay, where do we start? Like square one, like and that's why I feel like people aren't I don't know, I feel like people aren't really speaking up that much and like actually discussing their theories with people. Like they brought up Colton's name, what, because he's the ringleader at the table?
That's it. I
That's
know.
that's just an easy thing to say. Like, no, like why do you actually think someone's a traitor? But this could just be the traitors playing a really, really good game that the faithfuls have nothing to go off of.
Yeah, I think Candace is in the best position out of all the traders. Like she
Yes, inlet. Well, it's funny because I saw, I think Mark, sorry, I feel like I keep interrupting you.
No, it's okay.
I saw Mark posting a TikTok with the conga line in the background. And people were saying, like, well, didn't you realize that Candace was doing the conga line? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I wasn't in the room. So, unless that randomly comes up again, which I don't think it will, that's the only weird thing I think she's ever done.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's relevant anymore. Um
And I think she
I
voted for someone weird.
no,
That was,
she's been on Ron this whole time. So I'm interested now because she's stuck to her guns and played it safe with voting for Ron every single round table. So like she's had kind of this like plan, or this like fall safe plan this whole time. Now that Ron is gone, I'm interested to see where she puts her targets. Like who is she gonna go after now? Because you can't be wrong. I mean, I guess everyone's wrong all the time, but now she has to have somebody else that she is going for to play that she's a faithful, right? So
yeah,
she's had Ron this whole time. It's been easy. She doesn't have to think at the round table. She just has to be like, I'm sticking with my guns. And now Ron's gone. Which
that's a good
honestly,
point.
as much as I like felt bad for him, I'm kind of happy he's gone now, so we can have some more discussions instead of just it's always being Ron every round table.
Yeah. He kind
You
of
know?
needed to go just so we could get rid of his name coming up again.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't know though with her. I think that she's been yes, a good trader, but she's also been playing it too safe, too quiet. I think she's just a really boring trader. So I'd be kind of disappointed.
No.
I can
Lauren, last week we were literally talking about how she's speaking up at the round table, talking a lot, always involved in all these theories. This episode, I feel like she didn't get a lot of airtime because there was a lot more going on with Lisa and Rob as like traders. But like, I think she's playing great.
just said she's boring. She could still be playing a good game. I just think she's a boring trader. Like if she made it to the end, like I wouldn't be as happy as if or like if Rob or Lisa did. Like I'd rather see either the three of them or the two of them go. I would just be disappointed if she made it far, but maybe that's just because I haven't seen a trader play this good of a game.
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think she's a boring trader at all. I think she's a really good trader, and I think she's playing a great game. And if that means that she's not blowing up her game, then I don't know. I'm so entertained by her because in this whole episode, like, there's not a single spark of her leaving any scent of her being a traitor with all the chaos that was happening. And like, I think Rob showed me that he's has some weaknesses, which is him caring about people. Not that I'm saying Candace doesn't, but like I think Rob showed his weaknesses this week. Like he showed that he made an emotional decision over potentially a better strategic decision, because I don't think it was a good strategy to vote Lisa. I think that broke the trust and it kind of put him in a weird position.
I think it put him in a bad space with his traitors, but I think it put him in a good space overall.
Maybe.
I still believe that it was smart for him to do that. I obviously don't know how it's going to play out, but I do strongly believe that Rob made a good move. Like I said, he's convincing himself he's a faithful. And if he was a faithful, that's who he would have voted for.
Yeah, well, I guess we could see. I'll see. I don't think it's awful. Like I think it was a tricky decision. He definitely couldn't have voted Colton, but I don't think breaking the trust of your traitors when it was going so well yet was a good move. Because Ron went home anyway. If Ron would have stayed, that would have been a great move. He has people who like now trust him in the house, but he voted for Lisa, broke the trust, and doesn't even get the benefit of having Ron stay. So that's where I'm like, doesn't make that much sense, but I get it. Yeah, I don't want Lisa to go. I want to see more of her. Like I want to see the Lisa effing Rena.
Me too. Me too.
But yeah, I mean, I guess speaking on that, we kind of brushed over, but who do you think she's gonna murder?
I don't think she's really going to have a choice, to be honest. I don't think she's going to be able to be like, hey, I'm targeting this person. I think it's honestly, she's going to have to think of a couple people and who, like, the person has to touch her brooch, right?
The person has to touch the brooch?
Yeah. So that's how do you get someone to do? It's kind of like that chalice one. Like, only certain people would take that chalice to drink it.
True.
And like, so only certain people are gonna go up to her and touch her brooch, or she can get to touch her brooch. So I think she's gonna have to.
I almost think it's gonna have to be Dorinda.
Well, they're not gonna be. That's the thing. They're not gonna be able to just pick anyone. They're gonna have to be clever about this and like.
Well,
I don't
the only
know.
way that someone would touch her brooch, it would be like them admiring it, right? Like, how could you subtly get someone to touch your jewelry?
She could say to, yes, Dorinda, like another woman, housewife, whatever. Hey, could you fix it? Could you, like, I don't know. Like, she could maybe do something like that and then have the other person like re-pin it.
Smart.
Like, maybe she'll have her hands flushed and be like, hey, can you just move this? It's like caught in something. Like, I think she could do that, but she could only do that with a girl. I don't think she could do that with a guy.
Yeah.
To be honest, like. However, most of the guys left are the gays, so she might be able to.
True. That's so funny.
It's the gays and the housewives. We love this.
Yeah. And Maura. Maura and Rob.
Okay, Maura, did you see her interview?
No.
Someone said something about her and Rob. Like, oh, I think like joking around, like, I don't know, like who would go to the hideaway if like, and then she's like, obviously me and Rob, whatever. And then they were like, oh, so like what happens with you and Rob? And obviously she can't say anything, so she was like, oh, well, you're gonna have to watch to find out.
Mm-hmm.
But she does kind of make it seem like something might happen, but I also can't see Traitors being like the start of a love story for two people.
No, that's why I love this show. It's not a romantic show at all.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I kind of forgot that Maura is a really good, like a really strong player for Rob. Like that's someone, I guess Rob is doing pretty good. He does have a lot of people that trust him, but maybe they win together. No, wait, that they can't win together.
Unless he recruits her.
Oh.
Unless he recruits her, which
true
could be because he knows he has like this is if it's him and maybe one of the housewives left. Because I feel like if it were him and both of them, they would have more say over Rob.
Right.
But I think that could be possible because they already have an alliance and Maura's like a strong faithful.
That's true. That probably would be a good move. Huh.
That'd be so cute for them.
But yeah, anyway, I can't wait for next week's episode. This one episode literally felt like more content than the first 5 altogether.
I was screaming at my TV during the round table. Like I had
I
never
know the
felt
whole time I'm like sitting there like
I had
so invested.
never felt that before. Never.
Yeah,
So that was, and it's only gonna get better.
I know.
It's only gonna get better.
All right, well,
I was gonna say,
I don't know if I have anything else to say. Let us know in the comments like what you thought of the episode, what your predictions are. We want to hear from you guys too. Um yeah. Let us know who your faves are.
yeah, I still feel like I'm just in shock still with what happened.
I know me too.
Like I'm frazzled. I don't know what to
I feel
say.
like we need to film like right after the episode because after the episode I'm sitting there and I'm like I have all of these thoughts going through my head. I'm like so ready to talk about it.
Maybe during the finale we need to film like a live reaction.
Yeah, alive. That's smart. Or we could just go live, like not go live, but have like live reactions on Instagram, but not like say everything, you know? So if you don't follow us on Instagram, make sure to follow us on Instagram. Because I feel like we should have like some live reactions because I feel like I have so much to say and I need to get it out right away.
Yeah, that's my issue. And then I write it down and then I just don't read my notes and then I just forget everything. So
I know I wrote a whole page of notes, didn't look one time.
I love this for us.
Okay, well, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode of a Traitors Recap.
Yeah, catch you later.
Bye.